Welcome back to True Story with John Gibson. Today's guest is a very special guest, the owner of, is it Shape?
Shape.
Thank you. So I always get tongue-tied with it because our guest today is Cerasale. So Shell Shape, it's right there for me. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, John. It's so fun. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely. So she and I were catching up a little bit offline. For those who are watching or listening, I had the benefit, I'll say, why not, of going to high school with this individual. So reconnecting after some odd years, I won't be specific and name how many, is just such like a luxury, like a personal luxury for like me, and sharing this conversation with the world today is just really exciting.
Oh, thanks. This is like a full circle moment, right?
It feels like it. I know. And I've already been tongue-tied, so we got that out of the way. So now I can just totally be me and relax into this conversation, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Pressure's off. Sarah, I know exactly where I would like to start, first and foremost. So I want to talk about your practice first, but what led you to Pilates? Because growing up, I knew you as a dancer, and like a beautiful dancer at that, but I would love to learn how like that journey led you to kind of your current life and your practice in Pilates.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I thought I'm going to dance forever, right? That was like I was zoned in, so focused, like I will be a professional dancer. I will work as a dancer. But then it's like, then you have kids, and then auditioning is harder, and then you can't tour anymore. And the dance jobs were like not working, I just I couldn't travel, so I had to have a plan B. And, I always did Pilates. Pilates was my practice for dance to keep me strong and flexible for dance. And, even our dance now, looking back, now that I know all the Pilates exercises and everything, I'm like, geez, I've been doing Pilates my whole life, because it's melded into dance, the warm-ups, it's all the same. So I was dancing in LA, and the economy crashed, and kind of all the auditions were everything was on hold. And I was dancing for the LA Opera, and that finished. And I kind of was like calling my agent, like, what's next? I'm bored. And my now husband, but then boyfriend, got a job in Portland, Oregon. He's like, I'm moving to Portland. You should come, and blah, blah. My agent was like, go, and I'll call you when it gets busy again. I was like, okay. Yeah. So I was like, this will be fun, because I had been touring for like 5 years prior, on and off. So it's always in a different city. I could never stay in one spot to do any sort of training, Pilates training or anything.
Sure.
So long story short, moved to Portland, had some time, got my Pilates certification. And then I realized Portland, the rain was killing me slowly. I just was getting so depressed, and I wanted to dance again. I just wanted to be back in LA. And so I just randomly got on Craigslist, and there was an ad for a Pilates instructor that had a dance background. I was like, oh, okay, this is my job. This is going to get me back to LA. I met this woman, Andy Hecker, who started a very popular studio in West Hollywood called Ballet Bodies. And she was a retired ballerina. Wow. And she had broken her back. So she had this like dance ballet background, then went through crazy physical therapy to recover. And then she melded personal training and Pilates all into one ball. And then she kind of trained me in her style for 4 months. So I was like new with the Pilates certification. And then she gave me all this training with all these other aspects of fitness. And it kind of all just melded in. And I was like, this is incredible. Because Pilates for me was a little boring. I was like, oh, this is slow. I don't know if you've ever taken a Pilates
class. I did one intro class, but I promise you, as your biggest fan, I have been studying you for like 2 or 3 years now. So like that, all the exposure I've had to, and I don't want to interrupt you, but about Pilates has honestly been through you, or I've been curious because of you. I promise this is true.
I love it.
That's very awesome. Sincere. Let me ask this though, and I've wondered, I guess too, like, did you find that you were naturally good at it because of your body type or your athleticism from dancing? You said you felt like you had been doing it for years.
Yeah, probably. I think, being flexible really helps. Some of those poses are really hard if you have tight hamstrings and all
Yes.
that. But yeah, I don't know. Pilates just really complements the dancer physique, and
Mhm.
it creates the dancer physique. It's all about long, lean muscles, which is what ballerinas have. They're
Mhm.
super strong. I mean, dancers are athletes and they don't
Yes.
get credit that they should, but they are like, I mean, their legs are just like rock solid, and then their arms are strong, but it's like long lean muscles. And then
Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah.
dancers are constantly stretching. So there's all this like, length. There's not balled, hard up muscles, they're
Right.
always being stretched after being worked. So I don't know. I think it probably does help if you, have a dance background. It's probably easier. But, what most people don't realize is that a man created Pilates. Joseph Pilates created this. And like, he was crazy. Like,
I've seen you post pictures. He was short and jacked and trained until he was like a million or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've literally looked into this guy. Yeah. But I was fascinated by him in particular, and I guess again, which hopefully helped in some way lead to this conversation too, was because like in my chosen sport, it was wrestling and now BJJ. I've had every injury there is to have, and I want to be active forever. I want to be able to, but to me, like, let me define that even. It doesn't even mean combative. Yeah, I want to be able to like have the ability of self-defense, but like that is much less important to me than that used to be. I actually like want my knees to function and my neck not to hurt, my lower back. So I find myself so much more attracted to things like Pilates or yoga or these things that, as you described them, long, lean, strengthen, and can keep like somebody agile, limber maybe potentially.
Right. Well, and the thing with Pilates is it's really focused on the smaller, stabilizing muscles. Like it's all about shoulder stability, pelvic, stability, all these like stabilizer muscles. So we're really concentrating on the smaller muscles and not just the big jacked up muscles. You know what I mean? So, and the smaller ones I think do help prevent injury. And, I've danced for so many years, never had an injury, knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really think that Pilates has, helped me in so many ways, just keeping everything, I don't know.
Healthy, I'm sure. Well, first of all, you haven't aged like literally a day since sophomore.
God.
So congratulations to that found of youth you found.
But I do think that men should, I think it's intimidating. Like Pilates, you just see like a bunch of women or whatever, but I think it's so good for men, but I do think
it's humbling. I did one.
It's humbling. Yeah. It's
very really humbling. Yeah. Like, and like,
yeah.
I was in a posture, I guess. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but it was like a stabilization of the shoulder. And as I'm shaking, I was like, this is hard.
And even like smaller weights, we use smaller weights, but it's like a lot higher reps too. That's the thing too. So you do like 1,000 reps, but you're holding like a 1 pound weight or something, but anyway, So,
sorry, go ahead, please.
No, that's it.
Well, I was, so how did your practice kind of, gain such popularity? I hope that's I hope it's not a silly question, but you're a trainer to the stars in some regard. And how did you find like, that word of mouth or that inner circle to help you be just so successful? Yeah.
So when I moved back to LA and started working with Andy Hecker, I give her all the credit because she was training all the celebrities in LA, everyone. And she trained me and then just threw me to all like some of her clients. And so then I started working with Chelsea Handler and Miranda Kerr and, and then I was still dancing. So then I was like dancing for Taylor Swift and she found out I taught Pilates and she was like, well, I need help. Like, can you train me? So then she started to come to me at Ballet Bodies. So then I started working with Taylor Swift, dancing and Pilates.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also like a dance choreographer was working on La La Land with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. She was like, I need Emma to look like a dancer. I need this posture. She can't walk around, so it was like, she was like, I need you to really build those muscles in her back. So I knew exactly what to do. So I worked with Emma Stone to help prepare her for that film. And so it was kind of just like, it was just meshing into each other. So then more and more people, a celebrity would tell her friend and then it would just branching out and growing. And then after my second child, I was like, okay, I need to like scale it down, you know? So, and we needed more space. We decided to move to Ojai, which is an hour and a half outside of the city.
Okay.
North. So we moved to Ojai. So I was no longer in LA, and I quit Ballet Bodies, but I told my clients I'm going to come to LA twice a week and I'll just come to your houses. So I was driving into LA twice a week, going to people's homes. And then on my days in Ojai, I had one reformer, and I just was like telling my friends like, hey, I'm doing some Pilates if you want to private. So I was like really slow going. They would like, oh, tell their friends. So then it was like more and more. So then I got a second reformer, and then they could work out with their friends. So I was doing privates and semi-privates in Ojai, and then driving to LA twice a week, blah, blah, blah. Then the economy crashed, or not the economy, that already happened. The pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And then you can't go into people's homes anymore. No one went to their homes. So then I was doing FaceTime private. So I wasn't going to LA anymore. I was just doing it on FaceTime all day long, which was so exhausting. It was just sucking energy out of me. I don't know what.
But you were so impressive. Like, let me pause you for a minute, because you were like one of the first anybody, gym owner, personal trainer, anybody in the health and fitness industry, like you were immediately like streaming classes, doing online, like you pivoted immediately. I was watching. I was like, God, she's on it. Like in a time when the world was so unknown, and then especially LA with crazy lockdown, similar to Chicago. Like you were still going. You were keeping class schedules. I mean, I was so impressed with you.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. I just felt like, oh my God, people are sitting in their houses going crazy. We have to move our bodies, you know? That's like for your mental state. Like, so I just wanted to push out some fun, challenging workouts. And and then I was still doing like little Zoom private small classes and FaceTime. It was just like I was on the computer all day long. Yeah. And then I decided to get a third reformer. And then I was just like, okay, I'm in Ojai now. I don't know that I'm going to go back to LA. I'm like, I think I need to transition and really commit to my community here, because there were more and more moms, and like all of LA was moving to Ojai, because everybody wanted to get out of the city, and they were like, oh my God, Ojai is like this Orange Grove dreamy like country town. We're 20 minutes from the beach, but then you're also only an hour and a half from the city. So then I just got all my clients were like kind of coming here, and they had second homes, and I was like, I don't need to go to LA anymore. So then I really committed to Ojai, and word spreads like fire, you know? I mean, I just think, you know, it's all, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but it is all about your instructor, and like, you can really, you know, I love what I do. I think workouts should be fun. So I try to like crack jokes. I play the music insanely loud. You know, Pilates is supposed to be like quiet. I've got like playlists I refresh every week. We have fun. I just play the music loud, and I just like kick people's ass, but we're also laughing and like making jokes the whole time, you know? Yeah. So I think just one mom would tell another mom and another, and like, you know, one lady called and was like, oh, I'm interested in your mat classes. And I was like, oh, they're full, you know, maybe next week there's a spot open. And I was like, how did you hear about me? She was like, literally 3 different people told me about you in one day, you know? So I just think it's just a small town. It's like, so anyway.
So humble. Yes. No, it's very much about the instructor too.
But you know, and you have to, not that I'm for everyone, but you have to find that person, you know,
right. Absolutely.
Doesn't annoy you. No, I hate going into classes. I'm like, oh, I wish you would shut up, you know, or like,
right. No, absolutely. The worst thing you can have. Yeah. You don't want someone to have anxiety about going to work out.
Or they're too serious, and we're all like, oh, okay, it's you know, we're in English class, you know, like I didn't, you know, so that's what's fun now that I'm out on my own. So I'm not working for Ballet Bodies anymore. I'm working for myself, and I can just create the space that I want, that I've always, you know, and I don't know, I've taken so many classes and taught so many classes. I kind of have like narrowed it down to what I think works. And so it's been really fun. Yeah.
Do you have ambition of taking it to like, you know, taking your philosophies into any kind of like more like larger scale, like writing ebooks, or, you know, producing series or anything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everyone is going online, everything's digital. I don't have a digital platform yet. It's just doing the FaceTime or the Instagram lives and stuff. And, which was great to just get people, who are interested in my style of teaching ever to get to experience that aren't in Ojai, or in LA. So I think that's probably the next step is like, but I have like, I don't know. I have a love-hate thing with workouts online. I just don't think you really push yourself like you would in a class setting when your teacher's like staring at you and you're around other people that are like lifting their leg and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm doing it too, You're not gonna give up. So I don't know. I mean, do at-home workouts really work?
Yeah, I don't know long term. Yeah, long term, I don't know.
Yeah. But then also I feel like being a mom, if I just had a baby and it's really hard to leave to just look a workout on the computer is really awesome. So
right, for sure. It has its place and value for sure. But everything you said about like gym and whatever that gym may be, culture, is so important. And like, if you're somebody that I think is on maybe like a weight loss journey, like a long-term sort of goal or athlete or something, like, I don't know that you can do that alone. I don't know, iron sharpens iron, right?
Like, you've got to have some support and So, and I think, because of the pandemic, people are like coming out now and like really wanting connection and sort of sense of like community. And it's so cute. My little ladies, they're like, your daughter goes to this. Oh, let's have coffee, and because a lot of these people moved during the pandemic and they were locked in their homes for a year. And so they don't know anyone. So now they're coming out and they're like, oh, hi, I moved here a year ago. But so
I love that you've referenced this kind of switching gears a little, but I love that you've referenced your kids twice. Like what an important, it's just, first of all, for two reasons. One, the Sarah I know was like, again, we were peers, we were sophomores. So I'm like, this beautiful woman who's a mom. This is just, blowing my mind in one way. But the other way, like, you have a really successful business and you're a mom. Like, this is also a big part of your identity too. So like, wow, holy crap, you did scale for growth. You made this huge life change and still a parent during a pandemic, trying to figure out what school and stuff too, I'm sure. And all those changes, it's all even more, I guess, impressive as a business owner and those things.
Yeah. Well, it's hard too, because I feel like being in the, like it's a service industry in a way, like I'm providing a service for someone. And so, and like, I heard someone call it like, you're an energy dealer. Like I'm dealing out energy to pump other people up all day.
Yeah.
And then coming home to like kids needing more, like this past year, I've really been like, oh my God, I have got to figure out my self-care and like my balance better, because I'm getting burnt out by like constantly dealing out energy everywhere. And because the business got so crazy, and then I found myself teaching like I'm teaching like 25 to 30 hours a week, which is too much in my
lot. If you were just training 25 to 30 hours a week, that's a lot.
And then I finally got another trainer, which was a huge step for me. And so she took over my Mondays and I had Mondays off, which was like,
congratulations, but like Mondays off. Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. No, I do take the weekends off too, because I have to be a mom, right? And
you gotta live.
It's like family. So, which is, not great for a studio to be closed on the weekend, because those are like high workout
that's days. Everybody else's regular time to get things done, probably.
Yeah. So I'm working on getting more trainers now. So that's what I'm doing now, is just like trying to hire the right instructors that are going to like, be in line with like my philosophy of fitness. Just provide killer classes, like good classes. I mean, there's nothing worse than, especially you being like a dad and busy and all the things, going to a workout class and feeling like, what did I just do for an hour? Like, I'm not jello. I don't feel like exhausted in any sense of,
Yeah, so, I understand. Yeah.
I think that's important. Like, I'm like, people that come for an hour, they have an hour. That's a big commitment to like take an hour out of your day to work on yourself. I want to make sure that it's like the best, most effective hour that they've had, that they're taking out for themselves, you know?
You're the best. Yeah, you're the best. And it's so like, so wonderful that you even speak to that, because it's true. You know, it's hard for certain people to find that hour. They have 4.
Yeah, you teach a lot, right?
Yes.
Do you feel that you're like,
yeah, or they're paying for
training? You know, like it can be training if you don't fill yourself up, you know?
Absolutely.
But I love that you're teaching too, and providing like, and you're teaching kids, right?
A little, yeah, here and there. And I mean, I'm all over the place. I don't have anything regular. I do a lot of volunteering, quite a bit of volunteering. And then I just had a like instructional series come out. So like, I guess I'm a professor online, but like, I don't teach classes anywhere regularly. So it's not something I like identify as, I guess. But yeah, for sure. I've definitely helped in instructing, and I understand everything you're saying. And more than anything, like I always take something away from these conversations, and you've already given me something really cool to think about. And the dealer of energy concept is, that's like kind of really spoke to my heart for sure. And just the fact that you're there to kind of fill these people's bucket, and you're cognizant of them being there and present, says to like how much you're giving in those moments too. And that's very special. Yeah. You don't want to.
There is a sense of like performing, which probably is why I got into.
Good for you. Yeah.
But like when I teach my math class and the studio is full of all these people, and I'm like, I feel like shit. The last thing I want to do is teach this class right now, like move my butt. And like, cause I do it with them, because if you're just standing over people, that doesn't work either. You know, they've got to feel like, oh, and I use the words like, we're doing this. We're doing this next together. We're going to do this together. So they're like, oh yeah, okay, we're doing it. You know, I'm not just like, okay, do that, you know? So I feel like that helps them up. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, okay, the show must go on. I got to like pull myself together and be peppy and like, got to like push out all this energy to build these people up so they walk away feeling good, you know? But so it can be exhausting. You definitely like, I gotta reel myself in a little bit.
Well, how do you kind of fill your bucket though? Just family time is how you recharge, or is it just, how do you do it?
Like I have to like take care of my body. So like massages, like spa day, like quiet. Like I don't want to talk to anyone. Like my husband's very social, and he's like, oh, let's do this and let's go here and blah, blah. I'm like, I don't want to see a single person. I've been talking straight for 5 hours, you know, like, because you're telling someone, okay, now I want your right elbow to your left knee. You're going to exhale, draw in your belly more. Now pull your shoulders back, blah, 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 for a whole hour. And then the next person comes in and you're like, oh, hi, you know, it's just like you're talking. So I just like feel like on my days off, or any like time I have to myself, I have to just like go somewhere and be quiet, you know, and just,
I understand,
you know, spa it up.
I understand completely. Like I'm a natural more introvert, and my wife is far more outgoing. So I default, let her take the lead. But I'm the same way. Like people ask me like, oh, do you like listen to your podcast or whatever? I'm like, never. I don't ever want to hear my voice. I can't stand to hear me talk. I would never do it extra. Like, oh, that would be torture, truly. But I'm like you. Like I need the quiet. Yeah, rehabbing the body. It's like something to that for sure that helps find center.
Yeah. We got like a hot tub, and I feel like that's saved my life, and I'm in that every day, you know? So yeah, just little like self-care, you know, moments.
For sure.
You know, I'll grab them when I can.
Do you have like, I mean, other than like, I always try to be so one-dimensional in these discussions and stuff, but like outside of like work and obviously taking care of yourself, are there other kind of hobbies or anything sort of going on in your life, or things you're passionate about, any projects or anything?
It's on my goal list. I'm like, I need to learn something new. Yeah. So I'm going to start playing pickleball.
Okay. I don't even know what that is. So you can teach me.
Nerdy. But it's really big and popular here. Okay. All this, it's like super trendy. Everyone's doing it. My husband does it like twice a week.
My man. Pickleball? I've never heard of this.
Oh my gosh. And you know, I thought it was like a grandpa sport, but he comes back like drenched with sweat. And I'm like, what? Isn't this like ping pong? You know? So anyway, I'm going to start playing pickleball and see what happens. I also want to like do pottery. I don't know. I just need to like do something other than, because usually on my other free time, I'm like, oh, I'll go take a yoga class or something. But I'm like, okay, I need to like do something completely different, something I've never done, and like have that once a week that I do, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah,
we're in like the busiest times of our lives though, I feel like right now. And doesn't that feel crazy? It's like, wasn't that supposed to be busier? But like with kids and a career, it's like, I understand why my parents were so irritable. I get it. Like, like
it's a lot to juggle, you know, you like got to keep all the balls in the air. Yeah. So, but yeah, just taking it day by day, you know, but smaller goals.
Yeah. No, I get it. But you've accomplished so much already without this sounding like pandering. I hope you find like this flattering than like most people will ever do. You know, you have just successful practice. And I mean, you've created a niche for yourself that's like very unique and it's popular.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's special. And like, I love to hear how you speak about like the trainers need to be the right enthusiasm and kind of caliber around your method and practice. And like, that's somebody who has a very savvy sort of like identity, like, you know, what you're providing and what that bar is. And like, I don't know, it speaks to like quality, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Quality. Yeah. That's huge for me. Yeah. I mean, and details, like how the studio looks, if it smells good, like, like I have to have a diffuser. Everything needs to be like clean and nice and modern and, you know, and just so you walk in feeling like, oh my gosh, this feels so good to be here. You know, I just want to maximize the hour with the smells, with the everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And make people feel good, you know? So yeah, so we'll see. Maybe there's some shell-shaped retreats too. I'd love to travel again and go to different cool locations and like work hard, play hard, you know, like get a killer workout, but also have fun and play during the day, have great meals and be in an exotic place. And so
oh my gosh,
that's in there somewhere.
Do it. Yeah. That might be the first retreat. My wife is always like, go to a yoga retreat or like these silence things for a week. And I'm like, no. I'm like, sorry. That's not.
I'm the same way. I'm like, nah, I don't know. It just seems like I want to like, yeah.
I don't know if I want to do anything for a week. But like a 3 to 5 day retreat would be awesome. And with some balance. Like I don't want just yoga. Like have some fun, have some Pilates, good food. Yeah, I love it. Look, I'm in.
I'll let you know.
I'm there. Yeah, you can sign one up. Is there a place where can people, I guess, reach you if they have questions or online inquiries or any of that good stuff? What's the
just shellshapefitness.com is my website and all my contact info is on there, or like my Instagram, shellshape.
Shell_shape, is that right? Yeah. Perfect. And I'll tag it here as well for everyone. It's so funny to have known you forever, but like also to be able to honestly say I have followed you for years. So it's so funny. I'm also a fan. So
it's great. Instagram is really good for that, just to keep up with people in their lives and see what they're doing. It's awesome.
I feel like you're somebody who, it's so easy to say this in hindsight, but I definitely would have always thought you was someone that would be successful. I don't know. And you were a dancer. You were a dancer then. And so that's totally how I knew you, but I can't say at all that I had a crystal ball and I was like, she's going to have her own Pilates studio. But I definitely feel like I felt something like this for you. I was like, I thought probably you'd be in movies or something. I was like, she's going to be famous. I just know it. I just know it.
Gosh. Definitely.
So it all happened.
Yeah. No, I'm just so thankful that, you know, I had a great dance career and now I've like transitioned. It's hard for dancers because they have to transition into something or they teach forever. But, you know, a professional dancer is not always a great teacher either. You know, it's two totally different things.
Right.
But I do have a lot of friends that are like, how did you get out of like auditioning and dancing? I'm like, well, you have kids. That's how you
it can happen to me.
But I have friends that are my age that are still like, they're doing Coachella with Billie Eilish. You know, they're still dancing, but you know, they don't have kids. And it's definitely you have to kind of either go that route or not in a way for dancing. So I'm just thankful that I was able to transition into something else that I really love to do other than dance, because dance was it, you know?
For
So,
sure.
but
For
yeah,
sure.
it's been a fun journey for sure.
Yeah, it's an amazing journey. Yeah, it's so amazing to see how that happened for you and so successfully along the way. And it is so unique to your point. And I understand it. I can identify with a little of that. Like with like wrestling, you know, if you're not going to the Olympics, what are you going to do? Coach? Like maybe.
Yeah.
And then will you be a good coach? Does it mean you have the ability to
Right, well, you can like
translate
that.
and
Yeah.
successfully like nurture people and to, so, you know, there's very limited opportunities. So to be able to turn something that was a passion or a love into another and translate that is so great. But you've also been able to, with like, I fell in love with, like, as part of watching your journey, is that like you gave to so many others, like during the pandemic when you were giving online classes and these free, like you're helping other people's like bodies and minds, and especially if they're cooped up, like there's a bigger impact than just like doing me trying to pursue wrestling or you dancing. Like you're helping so many other people's lives and stuff as a coach or teacher or instructor. So I've just been so impressed with you for that.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. And, you know, I'm still, I forgot to mention that I'm still teaching dance twice a week.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's great. It's amazing. I'm so impressed. How are you not sore 24/7?
I know I am.
Because the truth is I am.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's fun to, and you're just thinking back to like, you know, our high school years, and because I teach the high school students.
Oh, cool.
I'm just like, gosh, I can just see there's different home. There's, you know, there's more than just coming to dance class. I can just see, you know, for like you said, wrestling, like it's a great, it was a positive thing for you. Like that's dance too. Like that studio, it's like their second family from home, because they leave school and they go to dance every day, and they have this little, their community, their friends at dance, and their teachers are like their second moms because they're with them, you know. It's like, it's a positive, like safe space for these kids that are coming from different home lives that, you know, more's going on than you know.
Sure.
But so I just feel like now at this point, I used to teach dance when I was dancing professionally, and I hated every second of it. I was like, oh, these kids can't dance. They don't know what they're doing. I should just show them. And I hate like being in the background. Like I was still in the performance mode.
Right.
Now that I'm not, I feel like I have so much to teach them and give. Like, this is what's going to help you. This is what I know because I've been through it, you know? So that's why I think I'm keeping one foot in the dance world.
That's the way to do it.
But
no, you do have a lot to give.
Like a teacher and a supporter, you know?
Yeah. And mentorship is so important. I mean, my life was changed by a teacher, so I give like so much credit to her. But yeah, mentorship is so important. And you do have so much to give. So if you have the energy to give, then God bless you for doing it and dealing with it. Seriously. Yeah. So anyway. Well, wonderful. I'll leave it there. Thank you, Sarah, so much. Like this is a conversation I've been looking forward to for so long, and you're so busy. So thank you for finding the time and giving me a little of it just so we can enjoy this conversation.
Oh yeah, it was my pleasure. It was so fun.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. I'll keep all of your links above and below on this message so people can find you if they have any kind of subsequent questions or anything. Again, thank you so much for joining me. This is True Story with John Gibson and Sarah Shell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.